On this week's episode, we talk about Thunderbolts.
And other pop culture news from the week.
We just saw the new MCU, Disney Marvel MCU movie, Thunderbolts, asterisks,
Correct.
which we finally know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not bad.
I genuinely enjoyed it. Granted, I went in with very low expectations, but I think if I went in with normal expectations, it was a good movie.
Yeah. I didn't feel like they were pushing politics like they did in Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they were overly comical. All James Gunn's Marvel movies, or several other Marvel movies for that matter.
Yeah.
I felt like there was a girl boss element, but it was a team, and also Florence Pugh is good at leading a movie.
Yeah, it made sense. I don't know. I never once thought girl boss. Just yes, this character dynamic.
Yeah.
Makes sense with what we know about the people involved.
Yeah, and then she's good by leading a movie, even if the movie was by herself, and we've seen her before doing that. The cast was, I think, directing and casting was really good compared to what we've seen in the past, because all the characters were even characters that we knew before. I felt like we got more from them throughout acting and writing. When the Phantom, I can't remember. Ghost. She was on Ant-Man 2. And
which I completely forgot about.
Yeah, and I thought, I was this one I really liked the character. Same with John Walker, and Bucky is only improving with the time, even though it had that what's the word? Messed up past the whole thing they did with Bucky, Winter Soldier, and Captain America. But anyways, Valentina, they changed from the books. She's a little bit more almost on the villain side, and she.
Oh yeah, no, straight up.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, you're gonna realize that the whole she's a shoe-in. She's a replacement for a character that, if you know the books, was an authentic bad guy. The new characters are interesting. They tweaked a little, changed a little bit, but overall it was entertaining. It touched some dark themes, metaphorically and literally.
Yeah, quite literally. Yeah.
To the point that don't be surprised that the Marvel logo will be a little bit different than the usual. And it ends on a big. I think it was not the biggest step on the MCU, but it was a step into the right path, and it turns things into something that was necessary. If anything, was longer wait to fill the gap between the last Avengers movie and whatever comes next. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, so I went in expecting a few things. I expected this to feel like a Suicide Squad ripoff, and it did not. And that's really what I was getting from the trailers, but it wasn't that at all.
In your defense, it's confusing. I mean, not so much for you because you know the book characters, but it is confusing because the original Thunderbolts in the books, they are bad guys, really bad guys that want to do bad things, but for a window they pretend that they are good guys.
Yeah.
And later that changed a little bit into more like a Suicide Squad thing, where you have bad guys working for the government to do the government dirty work. But
yeah, which is really what I was getting from the marketing. I also expected one of the most annoying Marvel or MCU tropes of these people did horrible things in the past, but we're just going to pretend, and now they're just super lovable buddies. And they did not do that at all. In fact, a major theme throughout the movie for all these characters, and as we get to know them, is them grappling with like the darkness and the, maybe not evil, but like them dealing with like the horrible stuff they've done before and the emotional fallout from that, and like the grief and the darkness and the remorse and the guilt and the loneliness and all the stuff. So like they don't pretend, kind of what they did with Loki. Really, Loki's probably anyway, what they did with Loki is just pretend like, yeah, he committed atrocities, but he's pretty and funny, and so it's fine. I was expecting that, and they did not do that at all. And the result was a much more meaningful, interesting film. Another thing I expected that we've gotten a lot of in the MCU recently, is like so many jokes to the point where you've just completely gutted any like emotional meaning or depth or heft or anything from it. Again, that didn't happen. It was an MCU movie. It was funny. There was a lot of very like gallows humor and things like that, but never to the point that I felt like it took away from the story or what was happening. And so then you got this, I thought it was really beautifully written, is maybe a strong word, but this cool thing where like the villain that they're fighting kind of mirrors like the inner struggles that they're having. And I thought it was really great. All that went out the window in the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene is terrible, and it brought back everything that I hate about MCU in the last like 5 to 10 years. But the movie itself, I thought it was solid. Like he said, they had great casting. The writers were able to work with those characters really well, balance out like who needs to be at the front, who needs to be in the background. It was just really well done. Like I think I want to see it again.
Yeah, no, it was very decent. It was I wonder if the post credit scene is, if they really shoot post production after the movie is done, or if they shoot before, or if they shoot a long time after, like how disconnected it is from the movie and how unimportant it is from the movie, and it's just a teaser stinger for what's to come. And anyways, it's there was like a corner, just a corner of the theater, and I was like, yeah, with the post credit, which is always funny because it's like
we knew.
Yeah, it's something we know or respect. It doesn't show anything new. It's Anyways,
but hey, if it sparks joy, I'm happy for you.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like it's something like the apex of the action of the movie, of the story of the movie, do not cause such commotion on the level of the post-credit scene that you're gonna have to wait sometimes, and this might be the case, years to see how this gonna fulfill. But anyways, Thunderbolts asterisk. Oh, that's answer at the end of the movie.
Yep.
It's fun. It's entertaining. It's definitely a step towards the right direction, because the last few were not, and they were not absolutely. But they can always do things wrong again, because next one is Fantastic Four coming this summer, and I don't know, they might move into a completely terrible worse direction.
I'm anxious about this one. So far, the trailers feel like extremely gimmicky.
Yeah.
With the whole like 1960s.
And I personally didn't like the cast decisions. Pedro Pascal specifically, the Silver Surfer woman version is absolutely another one, and we'll see. The story is known, and since it's in the past, or even if it's on an alternative reality, there is in the 60s when we are not. Either way, whatever you deal with it, you can assume the end game, what happens, right? Especially because they already cast these people on Doomsday.
Yeah.
You remember that trailer that shows all the actors are gonna be in the movie? They actually spoiled for the keen eye, spoiled something on Thunderbolts. So we'll see how they're gonna make this different, interesting, or how faithful and interesting they will do. So if you since you cannot make everybody happy, maybe they will unite people in making everybody unhappy. But we'll see. But
We will.
Thunderbolts is available on theaters everywhere. It just came out.
Yeah.
It did a good preview. It did like
Yeah,
11
11.5 million in the previews.
Yeah, it's on a track to do 80 million. And we'll see how it goes. This is basically the start of the summer. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. There's
So much.
Fantastic Four, as we mentioned. There's Mission Impossible. There was what was that one that we said that was going to be a busy week because of Mission Impossible comes
That's right.
the same week as what was it?
I can't remember. But there's dang it.
Yeah. Anyways, but this
Whatever. There's some fun stuff coming.
Yeah, things from Marvel, things from DC. And yeah. Anyways, we all here for it. We come back to it once we saw. We also saw another one that is not super old, fairly recent, and we saw on streaming. Is the movie called Companion.
So this is starring is it Josh Quaid? Jack Quaid. His name is Josh in the movie. And there's a few other familiar faces, like Guillermo, who has a name that's not Guillermo, but he's Guillermo in What We Do in the Shadows. And so therefore that is who he is.
Yeah, and the girl, I can't remember her name, but she was on Boba Fett. She's part of the infamous colorful
she's one of like the cyborg
Power
people.
Rangers.
Such a weird
Enhanced,
design choice.
whatever they call it.
It wasn't
Yeah.
right.
Anyway. This one was a surprise.
Yeah,
it's a horror movie of sorts. But there's a twist. There was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
I couldn't remember. I feel once we got to the twist, I was like, oh wait a second. I feel like I remember seeing that in a trailer maybe.
Oh, I didn't see the trailer.
I forgot about it. So it might be a fun surprise. It might not be. But either way, I felt like the film was it was creative and interesting and fun.
Yeah, it's really fun to the point that the poster is like, oh, honey, let's go see this movie.
Yes.
Right? It's like,
it definitely started out like really cute.
Yeah.
And,
no, like the first piece of dialogue she says, right? When I met him, but we don't know the circumstances.
Yeah, and so there's the first bit of dialogue where you're like, okay, something's up. Yeah. But then it starts out like, this is just the sweetest.
Yeah. Love, like when they first meet and it's cool, it's fun. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it worked really well.
Yeah, because it's a kind of a slasher thriller something. I don't really want to say too much. About it, just because I don't want to give away any of the journey. But it was entertaining. Jack Quaid was Jack Quaid.
Was he?
Definitely typecast, but his type is really enjoyable.
Yeah. No, Companion. It was fun. Well, we saw that. It was HBO. It's available on Max. I think. No. Yeah, it's take my word for it. Go to Max and look for stuff. It's fun. It's not for the young heart. It just has blood.
Yeah, no, it's a grown-up movie.
Anyways, Companion with Jack Quaid. It's available on Max. You should go check it.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, Revenge of the Sith was re-released in theaters in celebration of its 20th anniversary. It made $42 million.
Yeah, which is impressive.
Yeah.
For with so many new options, people went to see this old movie.
Yeah, I'm really glad we're past the pretentious, the prequels are so terrible. They were not terrible. And I'm really sorry that I ever got on that bandwagon. They were good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're
recognizing that now. And now all you see on my Instagram timeline wall, whatever they call that, is like this past weeks is like Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, and of course the celebration and behind the scenes and stuff. It's cool. And of course, Star Wars Day is tomorrow? No.
Sunday, May 4th.
The day after tomorrow. Which it's again, it might be another day, another weekend to break some more records, because I assume if the movie is still out, people go see it.
It's a good
chance.
I mean, really, Monday is the best day to see it, because Monday, So we have May the 4th be with you,
Oh.
and then Monday is Revenge of the 5th.
Oh, yes.
You see what-
Okay.
see what I'm
That's
saying? See what
true.
I'm saying?
Yeah. Either way, on the weekend or the beginning of the week, people
Yeah.
might take advantage of that. Revenge of the Sith available in theaters everywhere and on streaming on Disney Plus and
Yeah.
wherever you can buy digital.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, let's go through some little news items. Jeff Bezos is going to sell nearly $5 billion of Amazon stock.
Yeah.
So either
Which-
something's coming or his heart grew 3 sizes. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, why are you selling has to mean he has...
But like, I don't know, maybe he's going to do something else. Like he's stepping back and do something else. I don't know.
I don't think that will...
I'm not feeling super warm and fuzzy
I
about
don't think
it.
he will make... Either way, I don't think that would make him lose the majority of his stocks. It's just kind of always preoccupying when you see the owners of those big companies dumping stocks.
Yeah.
You know, it messes the market. And if you sell it too,
Yeah.
time to sell. Anyways, yeah.
Okay, Trump signed an executive order directing the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to stop funding NPR and PBS.
Well, to stop or to cut?
No, I think it was to stop.
You sure?
This is White House slashed federal funding, but I'll double check.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think it should just get rid of it. It's funded by taxpayers. It's propaganda. Whoever's in power, it's never a good thing. We have free press, or so-called free press, because they take sides. But anyways, but yeah, it happens.
They're taking it back.
They're taking it back.
Yeah,
taking it back what?
like they're rescinding all the funding. The Corporation for Public
All the
Broadcasting.
funding. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and again,
All the taxpayer funding. They do get a
Yeah.
lot from.
You can
as
get
anybody who like me grew up on
listeners
PBS and
like
NPR.
you, right?
Yeah, viewers like you, listeners like you. And so I was listening to an NPR bit about this a while ago. They said for NPR itself, they'll be fine. It's a very small percentage of NPR's funding comes from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but it's the local affiliate stations who actually like buy the programming. They pay fees that buy the NPR programming and then broadcast it. They're the ones who get a ton of federal funding and are going to be in trouble without that.
A lot of them do it through colleges, right? So they get.
Yeah.
So they get some money from the Department of Education that they use for the local
I don't
NPRs.
know.
Because here's the U, right?
Yeah, but I don't know that they get money from the Department of Education.
No. I mean, the university gets money through the Department of Education and gives something to that.
I don't know if they
Radio?
get money from.
But they still can get from viewers and listeners like you.
Yeah,
So
but anyways,
if
we're
you
gonna
want,
see.
and
Honest, I'm not super upset about NPR, but
Yeah.
PBS has done some really quality children's programming.
That's true. But
And
at
so I'm
what
sad to
cost?
see. Well, I don't know.
The problem
But, like,
with
I'm not saying that all of it is good, but like I said,
Yeah.
I was raised on this stuff, and I
Sure.
don't know. Do I want to live in a world without Kratz Creatures or like the Krat Brothers and Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street?
Sesame
Like, those
Street
are
is gone.
Really, what?
Yeah,
No.
HBO bought it.
Yeah, but they're still producing stuff. It's not gone.
I mean, it's gone from PBS. It's HBO
They don't air.
now.
They don't air on PBS.
No, they might air.
Yeah.
But it belongs to HBO.
Sure, the children's
It might
television
come a
workshop.
day. It might come a day that the deal is like HBO's like, nah, it's only us now, and that's it.
Sure. But the point is, like, it started there. There's just a lot of really good children's programming that's come from PBS that probably wouldn't exist without PBS. And if they lose that, I don't know.
It's a matter of management, As like coming from the government, it sure it had good things, but you don't know how much those good things came to be when the private sector could do for, I don't know, 1/3 or of the real cost. So maybe going private will be a really good thing. If they were good, maybe they will be much better, without the government
Maybe.
mismanagement.
But I think of like quality children's television.
Yeah,
programming.
I'm not
Because there's a lot of private stuff out there.
I'm not debating the quality. I'm debating the fact that it was good with the mass that is the government. Maybe it would be much better. Or if anything, the
Maybe.
quality might remain, but the cost will go down, which is good for everyone.
Yeah, we'll see.
But anyways,
So that's the thing that happened. Harvard is committed to changes after multiple studies have found that anti-Semitism has made its way into their coursework and campus
Yeah,
life.
wow. They had
Anybody
to make
surprised?
studies. They had
What?
to make
No?
studies for
Okay.
that.
Yeah. There have been so many.
Yeah.
Someone did a study recently where they're like, women need more sleep than men. I'm like, no kidding. I feel like any married couple could have told you that. Literally any of them.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah, it's well. At least we seeing changes. We're seeing something going towards a good development. Which imagine if Democrats had win, the mess would remain the same. It would probably get worse. So at least we're seeing some change in a good direction.
Yeah, we'll see. CBS is on track for their 17th straight season as the most watched network.
Yeah.
Not streaming, like actual primetime
Yeah.
viewership.
Linear TV, CBS reigns supreme. 17 seasons, nobody can touch them.
Yeah.
On prime time. Yeah. Well.
Good for them.
But again, that might be that people are watching more streaming.
It could be.
And
then
the broadcasts
CBS is just
they're fighting for the crumbs. And
well,
CBS
it
remains
seems like they're winning the fight for the crumbs.
the king of the crumbs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way to go, guys. What do they say? 5 million primetime viewers?
Yeah. But in contraposition to that, we see what was the show that made 20 million?
Oh gosh, I'd have to scroll through here.
It's
You debuted with 10 million
the new
views.
season, 10 million. You see?
And that's season 5 of a show that I thought was canceled a while ago.
Yeah. So you see, it's the average of a week, but again, the 5 million is the average of.
That's a good point.
So, yeah, changes are coming to television. They're taking big hits, but it's still not enough of a.
It's not dead yet.
Hit. Yeah, it's not dead.
Cool. Well, some things are dead. DC Studios has officially scrapped Sergeant Rock.
And that is a mess because the Hollywood Reporter said it was dead. And then Variety said, no, it's just on hold. So there was this whole back and forth. It sounds like it's on hold. And they would start talking about it, pre-producing or whatever in the next year. But it sounds more like it's dead. But it's this whole mess. Daniel Craig was involved, and he was the title character. He got out. They got the Irish guy. What's his bucket? The Penguin.
Is that Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
But now with all that, and I say what I think, and I comment in some other places that it all lies on Superman. If Superman succeeds, this movie has a chance. If Superman fails, there's already big rumors that Warner would sell DC Comics and DC movies and all their properties because they would need the money, even though they got some good hits lately with Sinners and with Minecraft. But we'll see. But Superman, there's leaks about, I don't know if you talked about it already. There's leaks about the new Superman movie that the story is basically about social network warfare, fake news, and all the things that it's a mess on the real world where someone create hate for Superman in social network with deep fakes and such things, and they hate Superman, but apparently it's Lex Luthor using monkeys
that's right. As bots.
Like bots, yeah. And I was like, duh, this sounds really bad. Not a bad thing to do, like a bad movie. But we'll see. There's so many other bad things about it. But he's shoveling so many characters there that, the scene was like, hey, everybody hates Superman, but everybody loved Hawkgirl. Let's give Hawkgirl a movie. But again, I still think, and it's like the writing is on the wall. If Superman fails, DC might be saying bye-bye to WB. And, who knows, Disney, Apple, Netflix. Who would buy the most powerful, most known, and most popular comic book characters? And well.
I don't know. Well, Warner Brothers, in the meantime, has also canceled Hogwarts Legacy DLC. They're saying like the content they were making just wasn't enough to be worth the price tag that it needed to be, so they're just focusing everything on a sequel.
Yeah.
Which I think I'm totally fine with that.
Which
I
I hope
loved
is
Hogwarts Legacy, but
which I hope is an actual worth of a sequel, because the other company, I think was Insomniac, did that to Spider-Man. They released Spider-Man Miles Morales as a full-on game. They charged as a
That's
full-on
right.
game, and it was really a DLC. And so we'll see. There's a lot of masses and controversy in the industry, media, film, TV productions. A lot of layoffs. In the video game industry is following trend too. There's a lot of companies canceling games, and they laying off employees. And instead of getting love from the fans, they blaming the fans. They says like, this game was not made for you, but you have to like it and you have to buy it. It's like, yeah, that's not
how it works, man. If I get it's a tough market, and I have a lot of respect for creators who put everything on the line to make this stuff happen. But if it's not good, it's not good, and that's not the fans' fault.
That's true.
But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful here. It seems like they made a good call. At least at this point, it seems like they made a good call. They'd rather make a really good sequel, or put all their effort into a sequel, than make a DLC that's not worth the money. So we'll see. The first game was awesome. I had so much fun playing it, and it's a huge world with so much room to, expand and write other stories and bring in new characters.
Did you finish, like, you platinum? You got all the challenges?
I'm not platinum. There's like extremely obscure things that I have to find on this massive map. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to go platinum, but I am going to let the girls play a little bit.
Okay.
And make their own characters in different houses. So I'll get almost platinum. Anyways, the Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds drama continues.
Yeah.
Which
this
at
time,
this point, it's so stupid.
This time
Why
Marvel got involved. They sued to stop. Can you read that? I can't remember the details.
Yeah. So Marvel asked the court to stop Justin Baldoni from subpoenaing some Deadpool character stuff, saying there's closely guarded information.
Yeah. That's about the Nicepool.
Yeah.
He's suing that the Nicepool was created
like based on him.
Based on him.
Which, can you even sue for that? I get that they're being awful to him. I'm not saying this to like defend Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds for like ganging up on this guy, but like if a character's based on you,
if you can prove it, I guess you're using someone's image, so you can sue for unlawful use.
But they didn't use his image. Like it's Ryan Reynolds with a hairstyle.
Yeah. But I mean, if
you can't trademark a hairstyle.
Sure. But if you can prove that it's based on him, it's a long shot. It's a long shot.
Is any damage done to him because of it? Because like we have recourse for like libel and slander, but was Nicepool libelous or slanderous?
It's the opposite. I don't know.
He's a really nice guy.
There's this whole mess going on.
Yeah.
And but they have like secret information. Let's see what happens.
I honestly at this point at no point have I cared very much. I find I care less every time they bring up more. Yeah. What's this Disney Slack hacker?
This Disney Slack hacker, the guy that hacked Slack that Disney uses, is a
like workplace communication.
Yeah, and management tool. Mm-hmm. He was found guilty.
Yep. Or he pled guilty to stealing 1.1 terabytes of data.
Yeah. And
And if it's like workplace management stuff, that's boring.
And he will face up to 10 years in prison.
Yeah. So not sentenced yet.
Probably not have access to computers.
Yeah. Doctor Who broke their record for worst rated episode.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
Falling apart.
That's a bummer because some of the best written television I've seen came from Doctor Who. There's this episode Blink. Even if you never watch any other Doctor Who, you have to watch Blink. It's phenomenal. Christopher Nolan is officially the front runner to be our next James Bond director.
As he should. Let's see what happens since he's involved with gods and Greeks now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for that. Okay. Sam Elliott is joining Landman in season 2. Which begs the question, why hasn't he been in there already? Like,
Right.
when I saw that, I was like, yeah, wait a second.
Maybe he was busy somewhere else.
Was he on
doing
other Taylor
something
Sheridan
else.
properties? Like, was he in Yellowstone ever?
He was on one of the spin-offs of Yellowstone.
Oh,
The one
okay.
is like 1923, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or the 1889. He's definitely on another one.
He's got to be in one because he's
Oh, it's like
he's already just like a living, breathing Taylor Sheridan character.
It's like burger meets bread. You know, it's like Sheridan does a terrific job doing what he does. This like neo Western shows and stories, and Sam Elliott is like the personification of the traditional looking, sounding Western man.
The voice and I can't picture him without a cowboy hat. It just feels very wrong. And I know he wears sandals in Parks and Rec, but even that character's meant to be in a front.
I don't remember him on Parks. Yeah.
He's supposed to be like Ron's counterpart in the Eagleton Parks and Rec when they merged them.
Oh, okay.
And at first Ron is like, yes, I love this guy. And then he's like, I smoke weed and I wear sandals. And Ron's like, ah! And we're all horrified. Anyway, it's a good moment. It's a show of great moments. That's a really good one. Okay, this year's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees include that great rock and roller, Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, and Bad Company.
Yeah,
It's really just the pop music Hall of Fame, I feel like, at this point.
Outkast? Yeah.
Which is a great song.
Do they have another song?
I don't know their other music. Doesn't mean it's not there.
Yeah.
Or it's not remarkable.
But to the Hall of Fame? I don't know. I don't know how the Hall of Fame is. I know the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's a matter of some thousands, not millions.
Campaigns and
signatures.
Yeah.
And I think it's like $15,000.
Yeah, it's not even that much.
Cheap. Yeah. So, and of course,
you
sometimes
do have to pay an annual upkeep fee.
Do you? Oh, that's that too. I mean,
it's not very much. Someone, but still, like
someone I think and I hope that people don't buy for themselves.
Apparently, a lot of studio marketing departments.
Yeah, that makes sense, and it makes sense because
like Gal Gadot got hers right before Snow White was released. Exactly, yeah. That was a marketing stunt.
So it is all connected to something they produce. It's like the talk shows. When you see some famous actor and actress in the talk shows, like, oh, I'm so glad he's back. He's back because he's promoting something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So there's that. Joseph Kosinski is going to direct a new Miami Vice movie.
Yeah, something everybody was waiting for. But no. But it's Kosinski. We'll see what happens.
If it's good, it's good. It's fine. Guy Ritchie, this is another movie I'm super waiting for on pins and needles. Guy Ritchie is going to direct Roadhouse 2 with Jake Gyllenhaal set to return.
Yeah, well,
the first remake really begged the question, why?
Yeah, and they clearly move into like a Fast and Furious type of franchise, and coming the second one is what they're gonna do that.
Yeah, we already have a Fast and Furious franchise. Yeah. We don't need another.
But do you have enough? Where's the last one? We're still waiting.
We're still waiting. One, yeah.
Yeah.
Another one. I'll watch another Fast and Furious.
It ended on a cliffhanger. Yeah. He's coming down from the what's it called, the dam, and the dam exploding. We need to know what happens. And the son is like the part of the family is the son. Anyways.
That's right. Oh man. See, that's a franchise that can keep going. And like as stupid as it gets, it doesn't matter.
Oh, we're about to lose Mission Impossible. We already lost James Bond. Now we can lose him. It should be 1 year James Bond, 1 year Mission Impossible. We're losing Mission. I mean, most likely we didn't see it comes out next week. Not next week, in a couple weeks, but. It didn't see it, but it's like most likely it will be the final reckoning, as the name suggests, for Ethan Hunt, for Tom Cruise. Mm-hmm. They might follow up with new characters, which we don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. In the meantime, PlayStation Plus is removing several games from its lineup, including Arkham Knight.
So if you don't have physical, if you rely on the PSN games to play. Just a reminder that nothing there is forever, and this one's gonna go bye-bye. And if you need to finish quick or by physical.
There you go. And last but not least, Now You See Me 3, which is finally, aptly named Now You Don't.
Yeah. Trailers and posters were released this week. And there's new members to the gang, to group. And they did an event, live streaming, and let people sign up for updates. And whoever signed up got $119.
Yeah.
$119 on their Vimo accounts. So
That's a heck of a marketing stunt right there.
yeah.
I wonder, that's a very specific number. I wonder if it was like, okay, we got $100,000 to spend on this, and is that just the number when they like divided it equally among the subscribers, or
Oh, I see what you mean.
does the number 119
They
have
had a
something
number
to do with the
and
movie?
they divided by the number.
Yeah,
I
because
don't know.
119 is a weird number. Like
Yeah.
$25, be like that's
It's just
yeah,
round.
that makes more sense. Yeah, nice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess you could be right. It could be depending on the number of people that actually signed up. They
Yeah.
had a budget because everybody should have a budget. Yeah, but hey,
Or is this
liked-
something's
it could be related to the
significant?
movie. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
We'll find out.
But it's coming. It was fun trips. The first two ones.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic heist.
It's
which,
cool.
when I say it out loud, it sounds stupid, but it was fun.
Yeah. I mean, as creative as you can go, right? It's like, but repeating it. I mean, I'm talking about this, but it is a sequel. But as creative as it goes, at least this one thought out of the box. Or did it? Maybe in the 60s they had a show about a magician. They would go from town to town solving problems.
Robbing banks.
They had a priest, right?
Power of close-up magic.
A priest and an old lady. They would go from town to town solving crimes. The British like shows like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So they usually stay in one...
I did
Well,
not go
there
from
is a
town to
priest who
town.
stays in, like, the one town, and
Yeah.
there's people getting murdered all the time.
Well, I would
Miss
move.
Marple, I think, goes around, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few, but, like, after a couple episodes, they're like, for a sleepy country village.
Yeah.
I got problems.
Well, this weekend is Star Wars Day, so celebrate, watch Star Wars, read Star Wars, play
Yeah.
Star Wars. You can do all sorts of things Star Wars, eat Star Wars.
Yeah.
Anyways, and yeah, so we see you next week in more pop culture news and entertainment and some fun things. We're gonna have a lot of fun things to see. Meanwhile, like, subscribe, share, comment, review, follow us on Facebook, Instagram. We are on YouTube on video. We are on podcast audio. Everywhere you can find podcasts. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.